So I think this makes day 3 in a row that I'm making a video. I don't know what that means other than it's day 3 making a video. But as I said the other day, it's just incredible for someone who never even used to want to get in front of a camera, much less do it a few days in a row. So technology these days makes it so easy to just do stuff like this. Today I met with Mike Weiner. I mentioned him before. And we talked about doing something together. And it's kind of exciting what we're talking about. It may not be until March or April, but fingers crossed, everything will be looking good then. Or better than it is now. I get blood work done tomorrow. And fingers crossed everything is still okay, but as you may know if you've seen my other videos, I have some question in my mind about that, but I'm trying to be, I don't know if I want to say I'm being trying to be positive. I actually had a realization this morning as I was in the shower, actually, that I'm kind of having a backlash against all this positive thinking stuff. And I think I'm having a backlash because thinking positive all the time just doesn't seem realistic, doesn't seem right to me, especially since there's been times in the middle of not thinking so positively that, amazingly enough, some wonderful things have come out of it. So I think what I realized, trying to figure out how to hold my camera here, was that maybe there's times that we're not supposed to be positive. And maybe there's times that we're supposed to just override the negative. And maybe they both exist. And maybe every time we're down, we don't need to override it. And maybe we don't always have to let our emotions carry us away. And I guess the only way we know the difference is just by what we feel and what we think is the right thing in that moment. Because I don't know how you would really know otherwise. Maybe there's just times where it just makes sense to override it. I don't know. Like my worry for tomorrow doesn't really help me. And I don't feel like there's any benefit in me dwelling in it at the moment. So maybe this is just one of those times where I can just override it and just keep going. And then there's other times maybe it doesn't make sense. Is that making sense? I think I'm asking myself that more than I'm asking you. Another thing that came up was, at one point, it was suggested to me that I not be so public about my situation and where I'm at. And I think that's an interesting point and not one that I haven't considered, quite frankly. But what I've come to is the thought that this is my story. This is part of what I have to talk about. This is something that people don't realize, don't know. I'd like to say, too, that they don't care, but I don't know how you can not care if you don't know. So maybe there are those that know and don't care. But I think, for the most part, there's a lot of people who just don't know the other side. They don't know what it's like to be sitting where I'm sitting and where a lot of other people are sitting. So this is my journey. For better, for worse, it's my journey. And I would have to hope that people would get something from it if they're paying attention. And if it's just too much, or they think it's not professional or whatever, then what can I say? This is my life, and this is life for a lot of people who are dealing with this. So, for better or worse, the good, the bad, and the ugly, just like my blog says. I'm amazed. I'm just so amazed at how freely I talk about this stuff publicly now. I know there's judgment. I know there are people wondering about stuff. I know there's all kinds of stuff that's going on. But you know what? When you realize, when you pay attention to the fact that there really is a clock that's ticking and you don't know how many minutes are on that, it really does kind of change the way you look at stuff. It really takes a lot of the junk out of the way. I see stuff on Facebook and Twitter. It's just silly stuff. And maybe there's a place in life for that. But there's times where I have to admit, I just wish people would have more of a sense of urgency about things. Just because I feel that sense of urgency now. When I'm not down, depressed, and ready to give up on everything. So anyway, I guess that's about all for now. I guess. So, thanks for being part of this journey. I think there is something else stewing around in there somewhere. But I think I'll leave it at that for now. Always could be a next video. Maybe there'll be one tomorrow. So, see ya. Thanks again. And adios.